Good morning, everybody. We've got a mixed to higher trade in grain markets here early on Thursday morning. It is 6:30 a.m. Central Time. December corn futures up 3 3/4 at 382 3/4. November soybeans up 8 3/4 at 1032 1/4. December Chicago wheat down half a cent at 577 1/2. December Kansas City wheat down 2 1/2 at 507 1/4. December spring wheat down 3/4 cent at 539 1/2. We had a big USDA report yesterday. This is the quarterly grain stocks report. Everything came in lighter than expected. Corn stocks as of September 1st, 1.995 billion bushels. That was 255 million bushels below expectations. The obvious factor here, I think, is that we're probably going to see a better feed or residual number in corn, and that's probably what happened here. USDA actually increased the size of last year's corn crop marginally, so that shift, that 255 million bushels, which is a big deal, it's probably going to be accounted for in the feed and residual category when we see the updated balance sheets on October 9th. So your old crop carryout for corn below 2 billion bushels, which is not something that a lot of people thought that we would see this year. In soybeans, we saw something similar. September 1st stocks of 523 million bushels. That was about 53 million below expectations. We'll probably see that accounted for in the residual use category as well. In soybeans, we can track the demand base pretty easily. Exports are easily tracked. Crush is easily tracked. So that's probably where you'll see that show up in the residual category come October 9th. Wheat stocks, 2.158 billion bushels. That was 84 million below expectations. That could show up maybe in exports, maybe in residual use on October 9th. So the reaction to this was very, very positive. Corn and some of the wheat contracts rallied to multi-month highs. Soybeans also rallied sharply. Large fund traders were probably aggressive buyers of corn, soybeans, and wheat yesterday. The private groups estimated that funds bought, I think, 30,000 contracts of corn and 40,000 contracts of soybeans yesterday. So at yesterday's close, the private groups now estimating that funds were net long 111,000 contracts of corn. That would be the biggest net long in the corn market for the funds since July of last year. In soybeans, funds estimated to be net long 216,000 contracts. Funds estimated to be net long 33,000 contracts of SRW wheat at yesterday's close, following a big day of buying. U.S. ethanol production remains soft. The 4-week rolling average, 913,000 barrels per day, is down about 7% versus the same week last year. Last week's output of 881,000 was down 2.8% on the week and down 8.1% versus the same week last year. That was the lowest weekly ethanol production number we've seen since mid-June. So corn demand via ethanol continues to be lost amid this COVID deal, amid reduced driving habits. Gasoline demand was down about 7% versus the same week last year. So we've still got a lot of problems here. It's really phenomenal that we were able to drive this old crop corn carryout down, despite the fact that we probably lost 500 million bushels worth of demand via ethanol. It's really pretty phenomenal that we were able to do that. But I guess in a lot of cases, low prices cure low prices. I think that's what we just saw here. U.S. weather forecasts remain pretty dry. Almost the entire Corn Belt will see less than half an inch of rain over the next 7 days. The longer-term models suggest that most of the region will see less than an inch of rain through the second week of October. So the harvest window wide open here. I know you look at the board today with corn into new highs again and the beans up sharply. Doesn't look like we've got any harvest pressure, but I still think that could be an issue in the case of soybeans, especially when you consider the fact that there's little to no carry in the bean market. There's no incentive to store beans. Farmers have all the incentive in the world to sell the beans out of the field, essentially. We have an export sales report later this morning. Pretty good numbers expected here. Corn expected to be 800 to 1.4, soybeans 1.5 to 2.5, wheat 200,000 to 500,000. So we'll see what they say there. The corn market, this is its best trade since, I think it's got to be March or maybe beyond that. December corn futures up to 382 today. July 21 corn futures above $4 on the board, which is something that most people thought we'd never see this year. Funds long 110 or 111,000 contracts of corn. That's something people thought we'd never see this year. So this has very, very much been a contra-seasonal second half to the year. This is not something that you normally see. These markets don't normally rally to 7, 8, 9 month highs into harvest, but that's what we're seeing in the case of the corn market here. Soybean market acting well. We're still not back to the highs from mid-September. We've got about 15 cents to go, but you could very easily be there by the close of business today or by the end of the week, certainly. We've got a new month that begins today. You never know what's going to happen. Wheat futures acting well. December HRW futures traded into some fresh multi-month highs yesterday. We're down just a little bit here this morning. Cattle market finished lower yesterday. We were down anywhere from 35 to about 80 cents in the fat cattle contracts. Feeders down more than that, down $1 to $1.60. We'll see what develops today. The box beef market was up a little bit. Feeder cattle index was up 142.58. Not much in terms of cash cattle yet this week. Stock market's higher ahead of the cash open. The Dow Jones is up 250. The S&P's up 32. The bonds are down. US dollar is down. We've got the crude oil down about 62 cents, 39.60 in the November WTI contract. If you'd like some more information, visit my website, www.standardgrain.com. Go to that website, click on Grain Marketing Plan, check out my subscription service. When you sign up for that subscription, it's $49 a month. You can cancel it at any time. You'll get my morning email. You'll be made aware of what I'm doing with these markets in regard to grain marketing. When I'm selling corn, how I'm doing it. It's broken down. It's tracked by crop year, by crop, by percentage, and all that stuff is available for $49 a month. There's a text message service that goes along with it. Sign up for 2 months. If you don't like it, cancel it. You can cancel it at any time, no obligation. Everyone have a great day. I will talk to you on Friday.